Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Second installment of the Nissan VQ35DE cylinder head assembly. I'm going to face the camera there toward the valves. Not going to record all of it. It's probably nearly impossible for you guys to see anyway. So I'm going to focus camera down here. We'll put this thing back together. Take a spring cap and clip assembly. We'll place it over the valve here, and we've already got spacer rings down in here. Don't forget to do that. If you ever do that, make sure that you know about this. I'm kind of going to try to put my hand or my finger over the top of it. It's difficult to do, not going to lie. It's a much easier task with the proper installation tool, no doubt. I shouldn't have done that. I had that in there. I double checked it and it let go again. I should not have done that because it was already together and I caused it to come back apart. And before anybody asks about the installation tool that I got here, it's homemade. So I can't tell you much about it other than this is all my design. Good, bad, don't know. All I know, it works for what I'm doing. Make no claim otherwise. These Nissans here, they don't have a lot of spring pressure. They really don't. They're not hard to push at all, but being that they're inside a cavity. Oh, okay guys, I done forgot something. Oops, my bad. Important thing that I forgot. Aha, get carried away here. Underneath, I rolled myself up a rag, put that in the combustion chamber, keep them valves from going out. Well, these valves will certainly move out on you, or move down on you I should say, which makes it a whole lot more difficult to get these things installed. I think I got one of them actually upside down. No? Like I complained the last time, these things are so daggone tiny, I can't hardly see them in the first place. Can't grip it. This is not difficult to put in at all. It's just a matter of trying to grip them in the right place. Only half of it got in there. After this one, I'm going to be finishing this up. Turn the camera off. We'll have to reset our clamp to the other side. If we can, we may not be able to. The only reason I got the clamp on there is so that cylinder head stays relatively still. Here I'm about at the extent of my handle, as you can see, and that'll also prove to you guys that it's not hard to push these at all. I'm going to shut the camera off right there and finish this up, turn the camera back on when I put the tops on, and then we'll see how that crankshaft is set up. So, got everything assembled, that part done, flipped my head over, cleaned everything up. At this point in time, we don't need no lubrication. What we need now is a cam. So, although I marked the cams like intake on bank 1, exhaust bank 1, and so forth. The difference is right there on the end. There is one of them, and the one being the exhaust cam, that does not have the notches. And what these notches are for is, that's what back here in the head is where your cam sensor goes. That notch, or these notches, will generate the signal. So we got all our cups laying here in order the way they came out, but we may have them mixed up. But at this point in time, if you can, don't mix them up, because it's going to make it easier, or not easier, it's going to make it faster to put this back together. But what we'll do is we put the first 2 cups in here, and then you have to say 1, 2, 3 testing and push on it. Yeah, just kidding. But actually do push on it and make sure that everything is moving. And with you positively sure that everything is seated, what we do is we'll put the cam in here, okay, where it's going to end up going. So this is how the cam is going to sit in there. Make sure it's all the way down, and be absolutely sure that the only cups that are in it are the ones that you're testing. And when we get done with these here, we'll have to remove those and then put the next 2 in place. Otherwise, we would have to bolt the cams down. There is oil clearance in the journals as well, so give or take a little bit. Precision is good. Common sense is also good. So if we get at 10,000 here instead of an 11, that'll still work, because there is clearance here in the journal as well. That's going to have a little bit of lift. Now, I don't know if I actually said that before, but what we're going to do is we're going to do the testing on our feeler gauge. The cold on the intake is 10,000 and 13,000. Exhaust is 11 to 15. I hope this is not redundant. This has been a while, because that's my project, so I don't work on this all the time, so I had time in between. I don't know what I filmed the last time. I don't know what I didn't film the last time. So here you go. Here's your little bit of information. This information here is from all data. You play back and stop as needed, but I told y'all I was going to post that. There you go. So anyway, make sure that cam is down. 10,000. Thus we are on the intake side. It says 10 to 13. 10,000 feeler gauge goes under it. Move up to an 11. Nope. 11 is no longer going. So, done. What we'll do is, I've already got the spot cleaned up back here on my rubber mat. Take the cam out, lay it off to the side. Pull these cups out, and this time we need to be certain that we're not going to move these cups anymore. They need to go right back where we tested them. So moving on to number 2. We'll put us a little bit of WD on there. We don't want lubrication on that yet. The going to basically dry fit them. Okay, we pushed on it, make sure that's working. Same thing again, feeler gauge everything. I may have already had that in the first part of the video, so I'm gonna cut the camera off here, and just in case I did, I'm not gonna take it out, edit it, anything like that. I'm gonna leave it in there, just in case. Anyway, next thing we're gonna do is put the caps back on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, we are going to assemble the top now. We've gauged everything, so all the valves are proper clearanced. We take our cams. Now, although I marked them, we're working on the front of the engine here. Next to rear, of course, here on my side. I got this marked as intake 1. Then we got the exhaust 1, but you don't have to mark that. On the intake, if you see, this is the back side of the cam. We've got notches. And then on the exhaust, on the rear, we have no notches. Well, the reason for that is the notches need to go where the cam sensor sits back here. So, needless to say, these notches is what makes the cam signal. So this cam can only go in one place. Left bank, right bank, or bank 1, bank 2 does not make a difference where these cams go. But since I took this apart, since that's a used part and I took it apart, I went ahead and marked where I got them from. Now if these were new parts, it doesn't matter. One exhaust, one intake, doesn't matter, they're the same. Then we'll get them in there, kind of balance them out for now. I'll put a little bit of the goo on here. Use that platinum gray. Over here we've got chambers. We'll set that up. I put some gray silicone on the tops on the screws here, help seal them up. I've already did the other side, so A, B, and C are in the front. Caps are marked to make sure that your oil hole, your oil galleries are all clear. So these are marked. If you take a look at the cap, where the oil gallery is, where that little groove is, and the hole that's coming out of the cylinder head right here. So A, B is actually symmetrical, doesn't matter. Then we got C. D, E, and F, same thing. Make sure that your little oil groove lines up perfectly. We don't want to block the oil. D, E, and the F. Kind of pay attention how you take it apart, and you shouldn't have a problem getting it back together. I highly recommend tightening these up by hand. So now we'll go through in sequence, torque them up. They're saying on our diagram, it tells us to do 1, 2, and same here. 1, 2, 1, 2, and we got 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, and then we've got 8, or 7, 8, 9, and 10 on the front. That's what they're wanting us to do. And we need 2. So the torque is basically 17 foot-pounds, a pass of 52 foot-pounds, and a pass of 92 foot-pounds. And I will post the images. I will post that up when I edit the video. So basically 17, I don't have a wrench for 17. Basically 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So basically hand tight, barely hand tight, get 17 inch-pounds. Again, at 52 inch-pounds. I was already right at it. It's moving just a little tiny bit. I'm going to continue on to 92 inch-pounds. So 92, this is the final stage. Make sure nothing has moved. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we have this done. So that completes these caps. I'm gonna shut her down. That's basically the head assembly in a nutshell. And well, if anybody's interested in doing all the cam setup, timing, and getting the #1 cylinder and all that, if anybody wants to see it, leave it in the comments. I'll go ahead and film it, but gotta know pretty quick because it's all gonna happen maybe tomorrow. So let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't done so. So I know you thought, what's the engine doing on the table all of a sudden? No, I did not make a mistake, guys. I was going to do that on the bench to show you how to put the caps on, but I changed my mind because it's going to be double the work. So I went ahead and bolted the cylinder heads on. That way I could go ahead and torque the caps up and all that good stuff and call it a done deal. So that's the reason why all of a sudden we seen a engine sitting on the table. But anyway, appreciate you watching, and subscribe if you haven't done so. Like, dislike, leave comments as usual. See you later.